just, well, yesterday, 2 days ago, honestly, I lost track of time now. We know that Luka was traded to Lakers, which is still insane. I still can't process it. The trade still is just crazy. But will LeBron be next to be traded? Because, listen, although the Lakers got Luka, who is going to set their franchise up for the next decade at least, like, as long as Luka stays healthy, he's good for the next decade. He's only 25. So the Lakers obviously did this deal for the future of their franchise. Like, I don't think any owner in the league or any GM in the league, whatever, who would say no to that trade. To get Luka, like, that's crazy. However, obviously, LeBron is at the end of his career. So now there are questions on what should LeBron do? Should LeBron stay? And so I think there's a chance that LeBron might get traded. But let's talk about it, because LeBron has a no trade clause. So if he doesn't want to go, he doesn't have to go, right? Like, the Lakers, I'm not saying the Lakers want to trade him. Like, I don't think the Lakers are actively shopping LeBron. Let me just say that. Like, I think they're happy to have LeBron stay if LeBron wants to stay for the rest of his career, right? So, like, I'm not saying the Lakers are trying to get rid of LeBron, but even if they were, they can't do anything without LeBron's approval because he has the no trade clause. So basically, if the Lakers, for example, were like, we want to trade you to Miami for Jimmy Butler, right? Obviously, that's not happening. But let's just say the Lakers wanted to do that. They can't do that without LeBron's approval. LeBron has a no trade clause. So with that being said, if LeBron wants to leave, then there could be something that might be done, because the Lakers, I think, would trade LeBron if he requested out. Why? Because, like, LeBron, brought them a championship. And again, I think they did the Luka trade for the future of their franchise. And so, well, again, they're not kicking LeBron out. They are, I think, willing to move on from him if LeBron said he wanted out. Whereas prior to the Luka trade, maybe not so much, because they obviously didn't have a franchise-changing player to replace LeBron, right? So that is the first thing. So if LeBron says he wants out, I could see LeBron going to the Warriors. Now listen, I floated this idea around last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. I think it might have been last year. And I said, listen, it's not a high probability that LeBron goes to the Lakers. I thought it was more likely before he had re-signed to the Lakers, because he was a free agent. So I was like, he could go to the Warriors if he want. He obviously has to take a discount at that point, but, like, that's a different story. But then once he re-signed, I'm like, okay, clearly that's not happening right now, right? I still think it's a realistic possibility. Here's why. Because LeBron, as we know, still wants to win. Like, I don't think there's any reason to think that LeBron doesn't want to win another title if he can. And if he could do it in LA, I mean, obviously he would, because he's already there and Bronny's there and stuff like that. And, we hear that he loves LA. So, like, if he had an opportunity to win another one there, I believe he would. But I don't know that there is an opportunity to win another one in LA as currently constructed, because Luka is still hurt right now. So, like, they don't even know. I mean, they say that they're going to try to get Luka back before the All-Star break, but we'll see. And regardless, like, LeBron and Luka, although two top-tier talents, like, if anybody could figure out how to play with anybody, it's LeBron, right? Like, he could figure it out. But at the end of the day, Luka and LeBron are redundant together in the sense that they both like to have the ball in their hands. And I think Luka might be the most ball-dominant guy in the league. I'm not even saying that in a bad way necessarily. Like, I do think he needs to play off the ball a little more. But, like, the fact is, you have two of the most ball-dominant guys. And again, rightfully so, because they both have success doing it. But the point is, they have such similar skill sets that it kind of is redundant. But regardless, like I said, the Lakers did this trade for the future of their franchise. That's clearly, what it is. But LeBron, again, like I said, would love to still win another title. Like, who wouldn't? It would add to his legacy. LeBron is regarded as one of the best players, of all time. Like, wherever you rank him, he's one of the best, somewhere in there. And so LeBron would love to play with someone like Steph Curry, and Steph Curry would love to play with LeBron. I mean, I don't have any inside source on that, but like, we know that I'm sure they would get along and love to play together, right? And the chemistry and the fit, LeBron and Steph Curry, is crazy. Do you know how well they would fit together? Like, Steph plays off the ball all the time. How many times we see Draymond being, the point forward, the point guard for them? Draymond is, running the offense a lot. And it works because Steph Curry is constantly running around the court playing off the ball. Imagine you have LeBron and you can't guard LeBron when he gets into the paint. Even at 40 years old, you cannot guard LeBron when he goes downhill. Like, you just can't do it. And so can you imagine he goes to the paint and the defense, ouch, scratch my face. And the defense collapses on him, and then you kick it out to Steph Curry in the corner for 3? That's automatic. That's automatic. I just hit the wall too. Getting crazy here. But so I see a possibility where LeBron goes to Golden State to play with Steph Curry, get one last ring together, finish your career on a high note. And honestly, LeBron could go other places as well. Like, he doesn't have to pick the Warriors. He can pick any situation because, again, he has a no trade clause. And tons of teams would take LeBron if he wanted to go there, right? But LeBron is too old to be doing back cuts. Well, again, I do think, just like when they brought in KD, although a little different because KD was obviously younger, still like clearly in his prime, and KD doesn't play the same style of basketball as LeBron because, we know who KD is. However, they did adjust, their offense a bit to KD. Like, obviously he had to adjust to them and they adjusted to him. So like, they would obviously figure out a way to adjust it a bit to fit LeBron's style a little bit better. But at the same time, like, LeBron doesn't have to be doing everything, like, there's Draymond there. Like, Draymond can still be there and run point guard as he does now. And again, you have Steph Curry, who's going to do a lot of work as well. Like, part of the reason LeBron, can't win a title right now in LA is because they just traded away Anthony Davis. And even with Anthony Davis, a lot of us, don't believe that team was going to win the championship this year. But like, especially after trading him, now they don't have any centers. Okay, they have Jackson Hayes. No disrespect to Jackson Hayes. I really apologize. I don't mean it like that, but like, they don't have, like, Anthony Davis was complaining that he needed another center so he could play the 4. So imagine without Anthony Davis, where's the rim protection? Where is all that, right? So as currently constructed, I don't think the Lakers are winning the championship. And when you combine 2 top 10 players all time, and I'm just saying top 10 because I think Steph Curry is clearly top 10. I think Steph Curry might be number 5, in my opinion, on this list in NBA history. But like, I'm not going into that. I don't have a whole top 10 list. I'm just saying he's somewhere in there, right? And LeBron is obviously in the top 10 all time as well, right? So you have 2 top 10 players all time. Okay, Steph is still at the tail end of his prime. You could say LeBron's past his prime, whatever, but like 2 top 10 players all time, you don't want to play them in the playoffs. The IQ, the ability to get it done when it matters, and the ability to play off each other would be crazy. Like, absolutely insane. Someone said they still want to win, plus LeBron doesn't play defense for 48 minutes. Yeah, but I feel like when you combine certain talent, you can mask some of those things. Like, we all know LeBron can't play the same defense he played when he was 26. It's just not physically possible. But the Warriors can have other players around who can, hide some of those defensive lapses. And when LeBron needs to, he will and can play defense. And again, because he will have someone like Steph Curry taking some of the offensive load off of him, whether it's scoring or whatever it is, just like pressure, the double teams, all those kind of things, it may allow LeBron to actually play more defense than he does right now because Steph Curry is making it so much easier on offense for him. So like he's putting less stress and strain on his body offensively compared to what he is on the Lakers right now, right? So he may actually be playing more defense because he has more time and more energy. Not more time, but more energy, right? And again, LeBron doesn't have to go to the Warriors necessarily. I just feel like if he was going to waive his no trade clause, it would be somewhere where he thinks he could contend for a championship. And also because Bronny is in LA, I feel like the Warriors make sense because then he's still close to Bronny. Because I don't think he wants to leave Bronny by himself, right? Like, that's why I do think he still wants to be in LA. And I think there's still a decent chance that he stays, right? Like they said, right now it seems that LeBron is going to stay past the trade deadline. And he may very well do so. I'm saying if he were to waive his no trade clause and go somewhere, at least going to the Warriors makes sense personnel-wise, fit-wise. You have a chance to win a championship with someone and Draymond too. Him and Draymond are really good friends. We know this. So 2 guys who have been there, done that, won 4 championships, played against him in the final, so he knows what they're like. And then obviously Steve Kerr, Hall of Fame coach, right? And like I said, being close to Bronny. He's still in California. He's in San Francisco. Not right next door, but he's still close enough where, like, he can go see Bronny if he had to. You know what I mean? Like, he's not in Boston, which, by the way, I don't think LeBron would ever go to Boston. I really don't. I don't think LeBron would ever go to Boston. No offense to Boston. It has nothing to do with Boston. It's just the fact that he's playing for the Lakers, and he played for Miami. Like, I just can't see him ever going to the Celtics. It's nothing against the Boston Celtics, seriously. I'm sure someone will watch this and be like, she's hating on the Celtics. It's nothing to do with the Celtics. It's just, I could never see LeBron actually going there. But regardless, like I said, San Francisco is still close enough. It's not across the country. So I do think that is something that is factoring into LeBron's decisions as well because his son is in the league. And so I don't know if LeBron is, going anywhere. I don't know if he's going to be traded. Obviously, again, he has a no trade clause, so he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. But that is somewhere I feel like I could see him getting traded. Because the other thing is, going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, they traded for Luka for their future. So basically, they're planning for after LeBron, which makes sense as a franchise. You got to plan for the future too, right? Because LeBron's not going to play that many more years. And if they're planning for the future and planning for after LeBron, they may not necessarily make the next moves, whatever moves they do make, that fit best or are best for LeBron. So if you understand what I'm saying is like, they're not going to disrespect LeBron in any way, but like if they're planning for the future, they may bring in people next, whoever it is, that will help them win a championship with Luka. Because, and again, this is just speculation. This is not, there's no inside, I don't have any inside sources. I'm just saying, like, if that's what they're doing, they're planning for Luka time, like the Luka, era of their franchise, then they're not going to make moves to build around LeBron. And while LeBron, again, can fit with, so many players around the league, like he's done it, he's fit with so many players, if they're not building for him, maybe it makes sense for him to go elsewhere where they are more fitting around him, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So, like, that's just, like, an option. Again, I'm not saying LeBron's getting traded. I'm not saying he requested a trade. I'm not saying he wants out. And I'm not saying the Lakers want him out. I'm just floating around possibilities. Because when I said this last year, whatever it was, I thought there was a chance. And I feel like the chances keep getting higher. But I could be wrong, The other thing is, speaking of the Warriors, Kevin Durant. Now, the Suns have said that they don't want to move Kevin Durant. They have said it so many times, and obviously they have not moved him yet. And so there are no reports or indications that they're going to move Kevin Durant now or anytime soon. But the problem is, we all hear the reports they want Bradley Beal. They really want not Bradley Beal. They really want Jimmy Butler. The only way that they can get Jimmy Butler is to trade Bradley Beal. Well, guess what Bradley Beal has? A no trade clause. So what that means is they can't move Bradley Beal unless Bradley Beal agrees. And if you think Bradley Beal is just going to do them a favor and just agree and just say, I'm going to go to Miami just for you. And also, Miami has to want Bradley Beal and his contract back. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that they said okay to that, whatever, which I don't think they are. But let's just say they did. Bradley Beal still has to agree. They can't do anything without Bradley Beal's approval. And the reports and the indications right now, again, this is based on what I, hear and see and watch and all that kind of stuff, is that Bradley Beal doesn't have any intention to waive his no trade clause right now, because right now there's no situation that I guess is being proposed to trade him to that, provides him with another opportunity to win and also live in a place that he likes and, stuff like that. Like, there are many factors into why someone would want to play for a certain team. And so Bradley Beal is not going to trade his no trade clause. You can't move him. The only two options, by the way, they can't aggregate salaries. They have to trade either Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, or Devin Booker straight up for Jimmy Butler. They're over the second tax apron, which means they literally have to do a 1-for-1 deal, if that makes sense. Like, it has to be just Bradley Beal. It can't be like Nurkic and other players off. Like, they have to do a straight up one person deal, right? And so with that being said, if Bradley Beal's not going to waive his no trade clause, I think out of the two of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, they're trading Kevin Durant first if they had to choose, because Devin Booker is 10 years younger than Kevin Durant. Devin Booker has been there since he was drafted. I would think that the franchise still thinks there's a future with Devin Booker to win championships. Like, that's their goal, right? With Kevin Durant, I believe that they think they can also win with Kevin Durant, like with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I believe they think that. I'm just saying, if they had to make a choice, they're obviously going to choose Devin Booker because they just have more time to build a championship contender, right? You don't know how much time you have left with Kevin Durant. You definitely have a little bit of time, but not as much. And so Kevin Durant does not have a no trade clause. And if the franchise gets to a point where they're stuck, they may just stand pat and just try to work it out with Bradley Beal being there and just see if they can win. Then that's a decision that they may make. And at this point, it looks like that's the decision that's going to be made, just because, again, Bradley Beal has to decide he wants to waive his no trade clause. So that is one option. The other option is, again, trade Kevin Durant. But I wouldn't trade Kevin Durant for Jimmy Butler. I mean, I guess they could, but I feel like that doesn't make much sense. I feel like you want it to be Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and Devin Booker. But what if you can trade Kevin Durant for players who fit Devin Booker's timeline more and get some up and coming talent and stuff like that? And that could be many teams around the league. The reason I just say the Warriors is because I saw, I think Jake Fisher was floating that idea around, and let me just clarify and say, he said that there have been no reports or indication that the Suns want to trade him. They say that the Suns have said that they don't want to trade Kevin Durant, and he didn't say that there were any conversations between the Warriors and the Suns about Kevin Durant. There have been no conversations. Let me just be clear. But he floated that idea, basically detailing what I just told you. If the Suns are stuck, what if you can get some assets, whatever it may be, from the Warriors? Because the Suns have nothing, no assets. They have no picks. They're all gone. So what if you can get some picks or stuff from the Warriors? Because he was talking about the Warriors specifically. And then KD reunites with Steph Curry and, I was going to say Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Now, again, it doesn't have to be the Warriors, though. It could be a ton of teams around the league because there are plenty of teams who would want Kevin Durant. So is it going to get to a point where the Suns need to just start stockpiling picks or assets just so they can not even necessarily like go into full rebuild mode the way, I guess you could say the Spurs did and then they got Wembanyama. But like get somebody who is around, like I said, Devin Booker's age range-ish, and get an up-and-coming talent and get a couple of picks just so you can have leverage to make another trade for Devin Booker. Like, I don't know if we're going there, but that's just something that's a possibility with the trade deadline approaching, and no move has been made yet for the Phoenix Suns because they were supposedly trying to trade Nurkic too, and that hasn't happened yet either. And I don't think that Nurkic is like untradeable. So like I do think they could find a trade partner for him, but I just don't know who or what it would be. So that is what's happening. I just wanted to come on live and talk about this because I feel like the trade deadline is not done. Like, I forgot who said it. Somebody said it yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever the Luka trade happened. And they said that this may open up the possibility of a lot more blockbuster trades, like that other teams, this was their speculation, I forgot who it was, but that other teams may now be a lot more eager to pull the trigger on blockbuster trades because of what just happened with Luka. So there is a lot that's going to happen within the next couple of days before the trade deadline. So thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed this live and see you soon. Bye.